So in the last few days, a lot of guys kept asking me, Shashank, what is your F&O strategy, which is futures and options strategy? How do you achieve those gains? How do you keep making small consistent profits instead of big major profits, but small consistent profits, right? Now, today in this video, I'm going to talk about what are the different things you need to learn, what is the strategy I use, and I'm going to talk about all of that today. Now, before we get into this entire conversation, please let me tell you that futures and options is extremely risky, right? It is not something that is very easy that any beginner should do, right? You do lose a lot of money if you have no knowledge in it, because there is a lot of other factors instead of like normal buying stocks. There are a lot of other factors like T30 decay and all of that. So do not get into it if you have no knowledge. I would suggest you read first, understand first, and then start investing. Now, what I usually do in futures and options is I basically adopt a momentum based strategy. Usually there's a trend in the market every 1 month, every 2 months, every 3 months. There is some kind of a sector or some stock or something that is always trending, and trending as in it is usually in an upward movement channel, right? So it's usually going in an upward direction. There's a higher highs and higher lows. That is what it is called. So when a company is in an upward momentum, I usually take positions in those companies. If it is a normal company, I take it in the normal equity market. But if it has the future and option ability, then I don't take options, but I take future, right? So just take the future and sit down, and maybe a longer future, right? Maybe next month's future or next month's future. And then every month, if it starts getting over, I keep rolling it. But now if you want to start and you want to know how to start doing momentum strategy, now the first thing you need to do is learn how to read charts. Now, reading charts, I know it might sound very easy to do, but it is not. It is very difficult, and you should definitely read how to understand all the charting patterns that are there. Now, obviously, there are a lot of free tools. There are a lot of free YouTube videos for you to learn charting. Obviously, I can show you one image as well on Google. There are so many good images that teach you what are the different type of charts. What you can do is you can take a printout, keep it next to you when you start analyzing the companies, right? Now, the second most important thing is, let me show you. You need to use a tool called Trading View. Now, I've just opened Trading View for you. This is how Trading View looks like. So, Nifty, in fact, was in an upward channel till yesterday. And as you can see, the market has fallen down and broke this channel, and it was a very bad fall yesterday because of SEBI coming out and saying something about the market. So now you see the market is like this, right? So when you understand how the Nifty starts moving in a channel, you can obviously start thinking about taking bets with good risk reward ratio. So for example, I would take a bet somewhere here and keep the stop loss right on the channel itself. Now the second thing is, how do you find all of this? Now the only way to find all of this is, boss, you have to start making a watch list. So you look at this on the right. I have a watch list, right? I'm constantly putting stocks every single day and tracking it, right? This is Nifty, Bank Nifty, and Nasdaq is what I look at. So even Nasdaq was in an upward channel, which is slowly breaking the channel right now. Then Reliance, because it is a very big market mover. As you can see, Reliance is like this. And then you have TCS, HDFC Bank, and all of the other companies here as well. So what you will need to do is you need to go into each company and try to identify what is in an upward channel. So see, as you can see, Zomato was in a very good upward channel for a very long period of time, right? Zomato was making higher highs and higher lows. And when you see such a channel, you know when to take a position and when to exit. So for example, here the risk reward ratio becomes very good for me. So if it breaks this channel, that's my stop loss. So my stop loss will be barely 1 or 2%. But if it succeeds, then if it pings back and respects the channel, then it starts moving back into the upward momentum of this channel. So reading charts, number one. Number two, you need to start putting in the stocks and keep everything ready, right? Mostly large cap, mid cap I do, usually because of the leverage that I get on F&O is quite better. I don't tend to do mid cap, small cap. Mid cap sometimes, but I would prefer large cap because volatility also becomes a problem if the futures and options goes up and down a lot. Now coming to the third thing, which is very important, is called insights, right? Now insights is basically you need to try and understand a particular stock. So if I'm buying a particular stock and it's in an upward momentum or an upward channel, I should know what I'm going to do there. What is it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it at 52-week high? So all of these data points are very important. Is it overvalued? Is it undervalued? Is the P ratio fine? Is it in a good sector? Is there some big impact coming and all of that? So all of these things are going to be very important to help you determine your risk reward ratio, right? So there are a lot of tools that actually are in the market that help you understand the analysis of these companies. So similarly, there's another company that's come out recently called SAMCO. So what they have done in their trading interface or in the broker interface itself, they've started giving you analysis and insights about your trades. So basically they have this feature called My Trade Story that gives you insights about your past performance and also helps you become a better trader. So how many times you have won, how many times you have lost, what type of picks you're doing. It gives you insights about your risk reward ratio, what is favorable and what is your ideal success ratio. So all of these things give you an idea or an understanding of what is happening with your trade, right? So this is like your Andekha Sach that is going on. Now some other features features also they have, for example, which are very important, something called SAMCO trade score, right? Now this gives you an overall score of your trading journey, because a lot of people, when you start trading, you don't realize you're just constantly taking trades after trades after trade. So if you have a trade below 1, you're considered a poor trader, whereas if you have a score between 1 to 3, you're considered as an average trader, and if you score above 3, then you're considered as a great trader, right? Then also there's strike rate, right? You know what strike rate is, or how many times are you getting it right? So SAMCO actually tells you in the trading interface itself, it tells you how many percentage of trades are profitable. For instance, out of 100 trades made by the trader, maybe 45 trades outperform the benchmark index. That means you're better than most of the guys, and your returns are also better than most of your guys, right? And another feature is the average profit and loss and average holding period. So if I'm making X amount of profit in an X amount of period, then that actually gives you a lot of insights to understanding before you trade. Now they have other features also which helps the trader. Basically, they have something called easy identification of profitable patterns, which you have done in the past, so you can continue that in the future. Something called position size optimization and tuning entry exit points. So all of these things are small things that really help a trader when he's taking a futures and options call in the market, right? Now if you want to become a trader, you want to understand more about SAMCO, then you can definitely go check out the SAMCO app. You can download the SAMCO trading app, tap the portfolio icon, click on my trade story, and then view analytics tab to access all the insights that you have generated with your own historical data. So you can check out it. I've put the link in the section below. Now coming to the fourth important thing is I'll talk about my indicators that you use, right? Now indicators, listen, please understand, it is not the holy grail, right? Indicators are important, but it is not one and done. It is not like I will buy this and I'm completely done and I'm completely over with it, right? So some of the indicators I'll tell you which I use. One is definitely an RSI index, which is here on the bottom. So RSI is nothing but relative strength index. So this makes me understand whether the market is overvalued or undervalued at a particular given point. Number one. Number two is some people use a indicator called Bollinger Bands, which basically provide a band of the market, and if it goes above or below that band, then you know the market is going to take a reversal. Similarly, I use another one called Nadaraya Watson enveloping non-repainting, because the repainting ones will keep changing. So this also gives me some idea of what is happening with the market. So the red zones are overheated zones and the green zones are oversold zones, right? So I can start buying whenever it is in the green zone. You can start buying is what the logic of this is in simple terms, right? Now apart from that, very important thing to understand is also the EMA, which is exponential moving average. You can also use SMA, which is simple moving average. So usually we use 20, 50, 100, 200. Actually 20 very few people use. If you are a day trader, then you would use 20, 50, 100, 200. These are basically your moving averages of the last few days. So usually what happens in theory is if it comes to 20-day moving average, it usually takes it as a support and starts pinging up. So it usually pings out from the 20-day moving average. So that is again a very important indicator that I use. Apart from that, there are two other indicators. One is a super trend. So super trend, don't look at these buy sell signals. They don't obviously work the way it's supposed to work. But super trend basically gives you the trend of the market. This is very important in momentum trading, because for example, if I'm trading in any other stock, like let's say this is another stock, right? So this gives me the trend. So the minute this thing has gone down, this has been a sell trend, right? So now the trend is negative. It is not about buying or selling, but it just talks about the trend being negative. Whereas you see this was in a positive trend with your upward movement from a very long period of time. You see how I catch the trend here. So a lot of companies like this are there in the market where you can start catching the trend. For example, look at this, in a beautiful upward trend here as well, right? So I'll show you some other indicators as well. So super trend is something that I use. Apart from that, I also use another one called CPR by KGS. This is slightly complicated, but there are superb videos on the market to learn about this. In fact, Gomti Shankar himself has made a video on this as well, on how to understand CPRs. Now CPRs are very similar to your pivot zones, which is your support and resistance zones, but little more complicated and little more advanced. So this actually helps in a lower time frame. So if I go into 15 minutes, you see how these show, right? So these shows, this gives me the levels where the market might take a reversal. In fact, yesterday it just broke all the levels and came down. So today's levels, I know that this is a very strong support area over here, 21,900. So you can take a small trade here depending on your risk reward ratio. So this is first, second, third kind of a thing, right? So as you can see here, usually the market goes back to middle. So we can expect market technically, hopefully going back to 21,100, so that there is some recovery of our portfolio, which is literally gone to game over, right? So this is a couple of indicators as well. Apart from that, some dashboards, I'll give you some free dashboards that I picked up from the internet, right? I find these dashboards very interesting. Okay, let me just show you all the dashboards. These are all free. I'll put all of these links if you want below, or you can check it out from here as well. So this is a CCI dashboard. I think this was showed by one very interesting YouTuber who used to make videos on swing trading, but now he's not putting a lot of videos. But this indicator basically gives me the companies that are in a particular trend. For example, you still have to find them. Like now there are only 4 companies in the CCI bullish trend, right? So look at Nestle. This is one company that has been in an upward momentum, right? This company, no, I would avoid because there's too much. This is what I would avoid. This is also I would avoid, right? But this looks very interesting. So this basically gives me 1 or 2 companies. See, this is in a beautiful upward trend here as well. So this gives me the trend of the market. Obviously, I won't pick everything. I will only look at what is a good trending stock, and only then I would take a call. Now this is another free dashboard that is there on the internet. Okay, this is by charting itself. So these are some dashboards that are free. This basically gives you the entire index trend today, like what is the F&O gainer of today, what are the market advances, how many companies are up today and versus down today, stocks at day high. So this gives me a lot of insight as well. What is the positive volume versus negative volume, and this is also very interesting. Okay, this is called market matrix. So I can share, if you want all of this, let me know. Put it in the comment section saying charts, and I will send you all of these links if required, right? Just comment below saying charts and I will send you all of this. So these are some interesting dashboards that I use a lot. Apart from that, you can also go to charting, which is again free, and you can start looking at more dashboards. I usually use the normal ones, or you can also go to screeners and check major potential breakouts, kind of a scan, right? So this actually gives you, right now there is nothing in potential breakout because we're in a bad market right now. Since yesterday it fell. But apart from that, these are some very interesting tips to look at for momentum based trading. So guys, basically this was it. I use a lot of indicators, a lot of patterns, and a lot of market analysis and reading of the market to understand. Most of the time my momentum strategy is dependent on the company and the stock. It is not dependent on Nifty. For example, there are some companies who are in beautiful momentum. I just take the momentum strategy over there, pick the stocks, and it starts going up, right? So if you want to become a very good trader, you need to understand what is risk reward ratio. I do that a lot. I'm okay to take small losses for the bigger gain, right? Because I don't get emotional when buying a company. So these are some of the very important tips and tools and tricks that you need to use as well. Now, if you like this video, click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, and comment below charts if you want all that information. And also check out the link in the description where I give you the SAMCO trading insights, right? So look at all of this. It helps you make a better trader. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any other questions, any other doubts. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye.
SAMCO ट्रेडिंग ऐप, आप ही के ट्रेडिंग का अनदेखा सच।
Investments and securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.